We are building the calculator project from the YByte Python curriculum available at www.ybyte.in. We have seen previously how to create a nice layout of buttons and grade and labels in this way. Uh, we have also seen how the top level architecture of the application looks like. Now it's time for us to start coding. I'm going to start with a very simple piece of code where I'm just going to look at the button 7, and all I want is that when I click 7, it should append itself onto the text box. Now remember, 7 and all these buttons are really one category, which is the buttons. All they do is that we read back from the text box, the entry label, and we append whatever we are putting in there. So let's just see for the button 7. Let's say I define a function here called press num, and I need to define a function because remember the way the buttons work is that I must specify which function runs when I click this button. So in this case, it's going to be press num, and I, for example, let's say, I read back the value on the, let's say the text box. So like I said, I'm going to use variables called text in box and text in expression. So I just read back what's on the entry label, and I do that by saying that, look, it is entr, text in box is entry label dot c get, and I tell it to get the text. Now what this statement does is that it reads back the text that is on that box. So basically entry label, remember, is this box. We are reading back from that the text. The cget command does that for us. Now once it comes to this text in box, which is a string, we can use this string and we can rewrite whatever we want to write into the text box. We have seen this previously, that I can update the label by saying entr label dot say configure. So I'm going to say text is equal to text in box plus. Now right now, for now, like I said, I'm only working for the letter 7, so I'm just going to make it, let's say, 7. Now this is basically saying that, okay, look, text in box here is what I read back. I am going to append to that string 7, which means 7 as a string, and put it back in. Now very important to understand that this operation here is happening on strings, and hence this entire expression is a string, and hence I'm able to configure the label with whatever I want. Now of course, to make this work, I must go and add this to the button here. So I just go and say command equals to say press num. Now let's see this working. The only button that we have right now that can do anything is this button 7. When I click on this, notice I see 7 coming out. Not a surprise at all, because really what's happening is that when I click 7, this press num function gets called, and this press num reads back from this label, appends a 7, and then adds it in. We will see in the next video how we can extend this to the other buttons. In fact, that's quite interesting. That brings in a very, very interesting new concept. Hence, I'll take it up in a separate video. But I hope this much was clear to you. In general, if you think this way of learning by building things makes it more clear to you, look at our website www.ybyte.in, where we learn Python programming through such fun activities. Take care. Thank you so much.